Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 291. Hope you're all having a great day so far, and thank you for making Tech It Out a small part of it. Whether you are tech shy, tech savvy, or maybe somewhere in between, we have a great show planned for you today. No Geek to English dictionary needed. In fact, we have 4 different topics and guests to keep things fresh this hour. We're going to start off with the mobile game Tetris. Yep, that's the one, celebrating its 40th anniversary and how you can earn real-world prizes for playing. We'll chat with PLAYSTUDIOS about that, hot off the heels of the Tetris movie on Apple TV+. Then, speaking of gaming, Ally, the digital bank, has a new island in Fortnite Creative with mini games to play and much more. And so that's coming up too. On the back half of today's Tech It Out, Zoho stops by to chat about its several free productivity apps that can help you in your small business or side hustle. And finally, with Earth Day coming up this month, we'll hear how some tech companies are making a much bigger effort to be eco-friendly with their products, packaging, and more. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out, powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. I'll tell you more about ASUS shortly, but let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. One of the most beloved puzzle games in modern history, which is now the subject of a new movie on Apple TV+, is about to get even more exciting with the introduction of earning real-life rewards for playing. I'm referring to Tetris and the company PLAYSTUDIOS that's bringing its loyalty and rewards program to the game. To tell us all about it is PLAYSTUDIOS founder and CEO Andrew Pascal. Hey Andrew, good to talk to you.
Hey Mark, thank you for having me.
Before we talk about PLAYSTUDIOS, what is it, do you think, about the game Tetris that makes it withstand the test of time? And what do you feel when I play this familiar song?
Well, the music obviously conjures up all those really wonderful and nostalgic feelings you have about, what I believe is one of the most beloved games in the history of consumer gaming, and that's Tetris. I think the reason why Tetris has just been so widely adopted and played is because it's a game that's really easy to start to engage with, but very difficult to master. And I think for that reason, it has this lasting play value, and it's just able to captivate everybody. There isn't anybody that can't pick it up and start playing. But as you do, it just continues to get ever more challenging. So just one of those really classic game formats that people have loved and engaged with for literally coming up on 40 years. This tune.
Yeah, crazy. And what's PLAYSTUDIOS all about? And it's Play Awards loyalty platform.
Well, PLAYSTUDIOS is a game developer and publisher, been around for just over 11 years, founded the company with a collection of us that have a deep history in both traditional consumer gaming and entertainment, as well as, interestingly, hospitality and different forms of leisure entertainment. So we had this vision for offering up games that people can download and play for free at any of the app stores. And as they do, accumulate a loyalty currency that they can then redeem for real-world rewards. So from the outset, our vision was to craft games people love and offer up rewards they want. And they seem to really appreciate and love that whole proposition. So we're thrilled that we're now bringing that added dimension of value to Tetris.
So that was the announcement that prompted me to invite you on to the program, this partnership between PLAYSTUDIOS and the folks behind Tetris. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, well, so the Tetris company and Hank Rogers and Maya Rogers and the team there, as the movie tells this incredibly compelling story for how it is that he ultimately assumed the rights or acquired the rights to Tetris. They've been the stewards of that intellectual property for, as I just said, nearly 40 years. And so we were just fortunate enough to partner up with them just over a year ago in order to continue to evolve the games that are offered on mobile as a platform. So, their games exist and have for a long time on handheld devices and on traditional console gaming platforms. But we've not yet found, or at least until recently, the right expression of the game to really capture and captivate the mobile audience. And that's what we're doing now. We're really thrilled with the degree to which the product has scaled and grown and the reception that it's getting.
All right. So to be clear, the partnership between PlayStudios and Tetris is tied to the mobile version of Tetris. And so PlayStudios is the publisher of this game that's playable on smartphones and tablets. And is that both for iOS and Android?
That's correct.
Okay, so it's on iPhone, iPad, and Android phones and tablets. And what are some of the real-life rewards that you can redeem your points for? Can you give us a couple of examples?
Sure. I mean, there's a broad range of things from, of course, now that the movie's being featured and recently was premiered on Apple TV, we're offering up Apple TV Plus subscriptions. So we've done that in partnership with Apple. So that's pretty exciting. And then there's a whole breadth of a variety of other rewards, from concerts and museums to resort destinations and vacation getaways and music festivals and Tetris merchandise, everything from, watches to Tetris gummies. So there's a wide range of really interesting rewards. They all tend to be oriented around leisure, things that people would do for fun. So yeah, I would encourage people to check out the game and of course, hopefully play enough so you can amass enough loyalty currency and go shopping and enjoy all this great stuff.
I get, merch and candy, but did you suggest travel, like trips?
You can. You can both vacations, destinations, whether it's on cruises or some just really great resort destinations, or airline travel. There's a pretty broad range of rewards that we offer. We have in our portfolio well over 250 discrete or unique reward types, and literally hundreds and hundreds of discrete rewards. So we've given away over $500 million of rewards in our history. So there's a lot of people out there that not only enjoy our games, but have had the benefit of going and crafting really great memories as they've enjoyed these fun leisure activities.
We're chatting with Andrew Pascal. He is CEO and founder of PlayStudios, the publisher behind the Tetris game for mobile, so for iPhone, iPad, Android phones, and tablets, now with this Play Awards integration. So it's a loyalty platform in which you can earn points for playing the game to redeem for real-world prizes. Are there any restrictions, Andrew, like, for example, by age or by state? Anything we should know about?
No, there aren't, because the way people actually accumulate and earn the loyalty currency, there are no restrictions. It's to reward people for just their engagement and frequency with which they play. And so no restrictions. Anybody can play and participate and enjoy the value.
Can you walk us through how it would work? So you download the game from the App Store or the Google Play Store. I'm assuming you set up an account first?
You don't even have to set up an account first. So you can download the game and start to engage with and play the game. We encourage you to authenticate with whether it's your Apple ID or if you have a Facebook account, or we have our own authentication method. So you don't have to register, but we encourage you to, so that if for some reason there's a problem, we can restore the state of the game. But no, just download the game, start to play. As you play, you'll find that you're accumulating this loyalty currency. At any point, you can simply pop into the store that is native and resident inside the app and the game experience. We're not sending you outside of the game, so you can go explore what the range of rewards and benefits are. It's integrated really beautifully into the game experience. And you can find things that might require that you play quite a bit in order for you to amass enough loyalty currency. But the reality is that even with just a few days, if not at most a few weeks of very active engagement, you'll be able to actually shop for and acquire some pretty cool stuff.
And congrats, I see you're number one in the puzzle category at the App Store. Before we wrap up, Andrew, just in terms of giving away, I think you said up to $500 million worth of prizes, what's the revenue model? Like, how was PlayStudios able to afford that? Is it through revenue that you would get from ads in the game, or do people have to pay money to be eligible to get points, that kind of thing?
Yeah, no, people don't have to pay any money in order to be eligible to accumulate the loyalty currency. They just need to engage and play. The model for this game is an advertising model. So as people play the games, there are these interstitial ad moments, whereas they watch ads. That's how we monetize or generate revenue from the game. And then the rewards that we have, as I shared, we have at any given time hundreds of millions of rewards that are in inventory. And those are offered up by our partners. And so we have a bit of a a marketing barter exchange with our partners.
Yeah, they're getting promotion for their products.
Exactly right. They get product placement, but it doesn't feel promotional. It's more experiential and contextual to the experience that people are having. And,
yeah, cool.
And so they think that it's more brand enhancing for them. So people that love Tetris and then go shop and take advantage of the rewards that are offered, it's kind of aspirational as opposed to it feeling promotional.
So I'm one of those who loves Tetris, but I understand you've got some other casual mobile game partnerships coming up.
We do. We also have some new versions or flavors of Tetris that we're going to be introducing over the course of the next several months. So a more casual version of Tetris that provides, we think makes the game even more accessible to a much broader audience and a new generation of players. So look for those. Those are going to be coming out here in the next several months. We're very excited about them. And then to your point, yes, we have other casual games like Solitaire and Sudoku and Mahjong and this broad portfolio of really fun, interesting casual games with millions of people that are engaged in playing those games every day.
Great. And then finally, the best place to get going, simply download Tetris from the App Store.
That's it. It's that simple. Go download for free. And as you play, you can nearly immediately start accumulating value and get on your way to enjoying some really great rewards and benefits.
Awesome. Andrew, thank you so much for carving out some time to chat. Congrats on this partnership. Very exciting.
My pleasure, Mark. I really appreciate your time.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. This show is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, accessories like monitors, mice, and keyboards. There's mobile tech like smartphones and tablets, smartwatches, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. So what does banking have to do with a multiplayer video game like Fortnite? Well, we're going to get the answer right now as we're joined by Beth Woodruff from the bank Ally, where she serves as, and I love her title here, Senior Director of Brand Strategy, Integrations, Gaming, and Innovation. We're going to learn about this new Ally Arena tied to Fortnite's creative mode. Welcome to the program, Beth. Good to chat with you.
Hey, Mark. It's so nice to be here.
Before we talk about this new Fortnite Creative Island, tell us a bit about Ally.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Ally, we are the nation's largest digitally only bank. So we were born in 2007, 2008, I like to say right around the same time as the iPhone, which who can imagine a world before the iPhone? But we have a long history of sort of building ourselves in disruptive spaces. Nobody really thought that a digital only bank was a smart idea. If you remember back to the birth of the iPhone, nobody thought that was going to be what it is today. We're known for being risk takers in the right way. We've made some very calculated bets on digital, and here we are. We're a full service financial company, and I think those bets really paid off for us.
All right, so full service, that might require some in-person visits somewhere to get a bank draft or to withdraw money from a bank machine. So how does that all work with an all digital bank?
Yeah, we have a network of ATMs that we have partnered with that you can basically go anywhere in the US. If for some reason you're not near one of those, then we reimburse you the fees that are associated with other ATM machines. So really making it as easy as possible. And by the way, we have like 24/7 customer service that are like able to walk you through anything. There's no real scripts. We don't like to be stuffy. We really want to be human. So you're going to talk to a human being who's there to solve your problems. It's really intended to kind of be a bank for the modern world.
I was going to ask you, you may not be the only digital bank. You were one of the first and one of the biggest, but what separates Ally from other banks in your space?
Hey, listen, I mean, we have well over a 90% customer satisfaction rate. I think what you'll find is that it feels very human. I think we have great rates. We have all the things that you're going to find from a really strong digital bank. But I think what's going to really differentiate us is our ability to be very human, to be very customer centric, and to have products that really are about solving a customer need as opposed to just the standard slate of products. Got it.
So with that in mind, talk to us about Ally Arena. What's that all about?
Yeah. So listen, I've been at Ally 7 years, and in my tenure here, we've had a really clear focus on gaming as an entry point for customer interactions. If you think we're a digital only bank, there's such synergy with people who live and play in the gaming space who would be much more prone to adopt a digital bank, right? This is the place that they're most comfortable. So we've really worked to build relationships there as much as possible. And I think, in the past, we've really had activations, AR activations, digital activations. During COVID, somewhere between Tiger King and the bread baking phenomena, we launched a space, and Animal Crossing launched our own island in Animal Crossing to sort of really engage people where they were in the cultural moment. And I think that has really lent us a lot of credibility to kind of be where we are now, which is we really want to put a footprint somewhere and have an always on strategy for gaming, not a campaign, but a real space where we say, this is our stake in the ground. This is our island where we really lean into the audience, find things that make them excited, but also give them access to things they might not have ever expected from gaming.
All right, I'm going to ask you to elaborate in a moment, but just for clarity, you mentioned AR earlier. That's an acronym for augmented reality. So not virtual reality where you're cut off from the real world. You're wearing a headset and you're immersed in a 360-degree virtual environment. Augmented reality is where you can still see the real world around you, but it is superimposed with digital information. So that's often an entertainment medium as well, and a growing one. And Apple may launch a new device this year and all that. But going back to Ally Arena, this is playable in the game Fortnite. And what are you able to do with your customers or prospective customers?
Yeah, so this game is built in Fortnite Creative, which is a very specific place where you can build something from scratch. You're not actually playing in the Fortnite gameplay.
Thanks for the clarification.
So one of the things that we really love about Fortnite is that the audience skews a little bit older than a lot of the other sort of immersive world games. So, the audience that we target here is between 18 to 34. Mm-hmm. When you come into our island, and we're very intentional about this in the build, we've created this basically esports arena. It is meant to be a little bit futuristic feeling. We wanted it to have that level. We wanted it to look like somewhere that the gamers would be really excited about.
Mm-hmm. You played me a cool video that lots of neon and it's very high tech. It looks really cool.
Yeah, think like Blade Runner meets esports arena. I mean, like it's a cool space. We wanted a lot of like bright lights, but we also wanted it to be something that was appealing to the Fortnite player, right? We don't want to be coming in an echo chamber and sort of creating something that's super to our taste because we want people to play it, right? Out of the gate, we created 4 mini games. Those games are in a very, creative way named Athletically, ALLY, Logistically, ALLY, Tactically, and Rally. And in those different games, you get to have different challenges that are really, really focused on gameplay that Fortnite players really love. So for instance, Athletically, it's a parkour game, and parkour is just like a fancy way of saying like platforming where you do a lot of jumping around. And we have one for Logistically. Logistically is probably the most challenging one, but it's challenging your building skills. So you have to build houses and build it under a time. You have to really kind of have obstacles coming at you as you build.
We'll learn about the third game on Ally Island and much more when we return on Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We are chatting with Beth Woodruff. She's with Ally. She serves as Senior Director of Brand Strategy, Integrations, Gaming, and Innovation at the Digital Bank. Before the break, you were telling us why Ally wanted to get in the gaming space and why Fortnite Creative, and you were starting to tell us about the different kinds of mini games you can play on Ally Island. I believe you were going to continue with the third one.
The third game is Tactically, and Tactically is one where you're using bow and arrows to sort of hit the targets. And then there is Rally, which we're really excited about because it's part of our partnership with Rocket League, where we're bringing in Rocket League signage and Rocket League cars to really have a driving skills test. It's very much inspired by Rocket League, which is a property also owned by Epic Games like Fortnite.
I was going to explain, Rocket League is a super popular multiplayer game as well, where you drive these sort of buggies and you play soccer essentially on a huge field, but you're riding in a big vehicle and you can trick it out and have a lot of fun with the different moves to score goals on your opponents. So an equally fun multiplayer game, but a very different vibe than Fortnite. And how is this Ally Arena, as it's called, on the Fortnite Creative Island, how is this tied to Ally exactly? Like, what is Ally hoping to get out of this?
So we have a long-term strategy here. Out of the gate, we want to build affinity with this audience. We want them to feel excited about what we're doing. We want them to come, really enjoy gameplay. What's cool about our island is that as players come in, if they bring their friends, their allies, they can get more points as part of the activation. So the more people you play with, the more points you're able to earn as part of the activation. And we really wanted to kind of demonstrate that life is better when you have an ally. So that's a fun piece of it. But we also have a piece of the Ally Arena that's not a mini game. It's a Llamatron. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the vernacular, a Llamatron is just a giant screen projector inside our Ally Arena. It's very common in the Fortnite space.
As are llamas as a whole. Yep.
Yes. And the intention there is to be able to really utilize that to create access to certain events, to maybe do some live streams in the future. We are so excited about the technology that Epic is rolling out, specifically when it comes to Unreal Engine and the capabilities they're going to have. So I think you're going to see us long term really lean into creating access points that give people ways to interact with a lot of our properties. So you mentioned that Rocket League is a game that involves cars and soccer. It just so happens that Ally has a NASCAR sponsorship, and we also are the kit sponsors for the Charlotte FC. And so it merges like two of our best properties that we already have so much synergy with, which is why we really love this. I think you're going to see all of our properties really converge here in this Ally Arena in the future.
Before we wrap up, gaming is still red hot, but the metaverse is not, which was predicted to be, the next generation of the internet, a place to live, work, and learn in a virtual environment. Does Ally still envision the metaverse to be very much our future? It's just a matter of when, not if, or are you now doubling down more on gaming and interactive entertainment?
So I think it's such an interesting question, Mark. From our perspective, we are always watching emerging technology. Our goal is to always be where consumers are. I don't need to go plant a flag and be the first somewhere if there aren't people there. That doesn't really serve me or my brand very well. Ally wants to be, making real relationships with people. I think it's an interesting question on the metaverse. I think it will all be interesting to hear, what happens with Apple, I think come June, to see how VR headsets come about. I think that what Epic is doing and what they want to do with Fortnite, as they build towards what I think is going to actually be the metaverse, it's going to be really gaming centric. I think people really, if they want to interact in that way, I think gaming will be the entry point into what the metaverse becomes. We want to have, relationships with those gamers as we see that built out. And we really want to create spaces that we're authentically showing up and make the space better. Like, I don't want to just come and do a brand advertisement in gaming or the metaverse, whatever that is. Like, I want to be part of it. I want to be part of the narrative. I think Ally really wants to have a dialogue and really have a moment with these players to sort of be authentic.
And then finally, how do we get going? Is there a website? That's where we get our start. And does it cost anything to play in Ally Arena?
No, it is absolutely free. We really wanted to make access into our island really easy. For those of you who aren't Fortnite players, there is an individual code to get you into the island, kind of like a phone number, and you need that number to get into the island. So we've created a landing page specifically for our island called ally.com/Ally Arena. You can go on there and get our island code, but we also give you instructions if you're a novice in the area on how to log in and how to use that code. You'll also see a calendar of events. We have a lot of streaming events with Rocket League. We'll also have some streamers kind of take tours of our Ally Arena that you can join in as well. So it's a great hub for you to find out more about what's happening in Ally Arena.
All right. So ally.com. So it's ALLY.com/Ally Arena to get going. Beth Woodruff has been our guest. Hey, great to chat with you, Beth. This sounds like a really exciting partnership. Thanks so much for taking out some time to chat with us about it.
Hey, Mark, I really appreciate it.
Don't forget, we're going to chat with Zoho in a minute or so, a great company that has several free productivity tools for small businesses or maybe for your side hustle. But before that, and speaking of business and, of course, cybersecurity, I'm thrilled about the partnership with Visa on Tech It Out. Did you know that online shoppers are 3 times more likely to enter an unfamiliar store if it displays a Visa logo? And customers are 5 times more likely to think a merchant is reputable. This is because Visa has invested invested billions over the years in fraud prevention. Visa is deploying advanced technology to ensure customer data is not vulnerable. This includes tokenization, pioneered by Visa as one part of the solution, which reduces the risk of identity theft because this tech replaces your cardholder info with a random alphanumeric code, so the merchant never sees your actual card number, yet still ensures a fast transaction as well. To learn more about Visa's work in protecting you and your purchases, head over to visa.com/security. That's visa.com/security. Everything seems to be getting more expensive these days. Am I right? Not just because of inflation. And on a related note, the cost to borrow money, of course, is up with higher interest rates, but for tech as well. Netflix cracked down on password sharing. Twitter is now charging for the blue verification check mark. Google Photos no longer offers unlimited storage. You get the idea. But not all tech is expensive. You already know this if you're one of the millions who rely on Zoho's productivity apps. Joining us to chat about Zoho and discuss its finance-related apps for your small business or maybe your side hustle, we've got on the line Zoho's Shunthra Shaker, who goes by LSP, product evangelist for Zoho. Welcome back to the show, LSP. Good to talk to you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Happy to be back.
Before we talk about finance-related apps, please tell us a bit about Zoho.
Zoho is a technology company, Mark, and we provide tools for people who have a 9-to-5 job and who have a side hustle, who want to run a small business, or even if they're organized themselves as a business, we have tools to help them run their business.
Hang tight, more with LSP from Zoho in a moment.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Check it out. Hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, everyone. We're chatting with LSP from Zoho, a company best known for its affordable and sometimes free productivity solutions for small and medium-sized businesses, even if it's for your side hustle. LSP, super impressive that you have over 18 million customers worldwide. Congrats. And what devices can you use Zoho apps on? Is it tied to a Windows PC or something like that?
Thankfully, because we are cloud-based, it really doesn't matter. You can be on Windows, you can be on Mac. All that you need to access the Zoho applications are a web browser, or if you are someone who spends most of the time and love doing things on mobile, everything that Zoho has is available on mobile apps.
All right. You also have apps that you can download from the App Store for your smartphone or tablet.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Good one. All right. Let's now talk about Zoho's finance apps. Is this for things like doing your books, like invoicing, expensing, that kind of thing?
Oh, you covered everything right there. So I don't think I need to answer this question, Mark. But yes, absolutely. So it does all of the above and more.
So are these individual apps, like one for invoicing, one for expensing, one for customer relationship management, CRM, that kind of thing? Or there's also a suite that you offer, I guess, for small and medium-sized businesses, right?
Yes. And the sweet thing here, Mark, that I want to highlight is as a business, you may be running multiple different tools. You may have your preferences of, let's say, doing your accounting with one software, but then let's say for expense management, or for, let's say you are doing some business on eBay, or you have an e-commerce website and you want to basically collect payments using checkout software. So that can be from Zoho. So really you can pick and choose whatever software you need for a specific purpose, or if you want the full suite, that's also an option. So you can basically subscribe to inventory management, checkout, bookkeeping, expense management, invoicing, everything under Zoho, and then use it as a single suite. Really, we just make it easy for people to make choices for their business.
Speaking of making it easy for customers, you don't need to be a bookkeeper or an accountant to understand how to use these tools?
And that's where we do the heavy lifting, right? We just make it simple. So for example, let's say you are someone who's a handyman and then you actually have a 9-to-5 job and you basically help out people fixing their plumbing, fixing their roofing or whatever over the weekend. Guess what? You can send them a nice looking invoice without having to think about, hey, how much taxes do I collect depending on what region you are and so on and so forth. So we really do the heavy lifting, and then you can just use your mobile phone and then add contacts of people who you're working with and then send them out invoices, automatically notifying them, and also collecting payments automatically without having to necessarily do everything in cash. So we definitely do all the heavy lifting. You don't need to be someone who is very finance savvy. All that you just need to know is inputting data. That's all you need to know.
Speaking of which, I'm going to ask you about AI or artificial intelligence in a moment. That seems to be the big buzzword right now. But because Zoho's apps are cloud-based, just to confirm, everything is synchronized between all your devices, right? So if you are a contractor and you update something in your app, your Zoho app, and then when you go home to your computer, a PC or a Mac or a Chromebook, and you log into your Zoho account, everything will be there that you did on your phone too.
Absolutely.
We are chatting with Shunthra Shaker from Zoho. He's a product evangelist. He goes by LSP, and we are chatting about Zoho's finance apps in particular, because you also have other apps, right? Like a word processor, a spreadsheet creator, a presentation maker. You said there's like 50 apps, right?
That is correct, Mark. We have over 50 different applications. Productivity collaboration is one of a popular ones. Zoho Mail is a very popular email application that a lot of people use. So yeah, depending on what you're doing, let's say you want to do contact management, we have customer relationship management tools. So quite a few tools out there.
You have an advanced calendar as well.
Yes, we do. And also Zoho Booking. If you're a business that, let's say you want to kind of book time with people, consulting or some kind of, let's say, coaching sessions because you are a mentor, you can just use Zoho Bookings to do your calendar management.
Okay. Let's circle back and talk about finance apps and AI.
It is something that we have been working for a long time. If you use the Zoho Expense tool on your mobile phone, you can take a picture of a receipt in any language, and then the AI behind the scene automatically uses OCR, scans the receipt, and automatically creates an expense report for you that can then be submitted to your customers or can help you also manage your expense management within your business.
So yeah, OCR stands for optical character recognition. So not only does it snap a photo of that receipt in this instance, but it'll import that information into text, a digital format, which then you can edit and send in an email or what have you. So very convenient. Yep. Yeah, AI seems to be the big buzzword right now. And as we wrap up, what's the pricing for the finance apps? We talked about that suite or bundle that's optional, the Finance Plus. But if you wanted to buy it sort of a la carte instead of a buffet or all-you-can-eat model, you can buy things individually, correct?
That is correct, Mark. If you're thinking about you need an invoicing solution for your side hustle, then Zoho Invoice is completely free in the sense there is no price plan for it. It's fully functional. It has all the bells and whistles, and it's completely free.
But not all your apps are completely free,
No,
right?
That's Zoho Invoice. So if you look at Zoho Expense, all the products that Zoho has, there is a free edition that you can use. Now, if you're looking for a starting price, the standard edition of Zoho Expense starts at $4 a month. And if you're looking at, let's say you want something to collect payments on your e-commerce website, something like Zoho Checkout, you're looking at $12 a month to use the checkout feature and so on.
All right. But there's a free trial for each one or a free option where so there is a free version of it, but you don't get all the bells and whistles, I'm assuming.
That is correct. That's when you basically, let's say the number of payments that you can take on the free version could be limited to 50 or 100 a month versus, let's say, if you're going up to over that number, when you cross the threshold, that's when, you pay as you grow. That's the philosophy of Zoho.
Right. It's scalable. And then the best website to get going?
Zoho.com. You can basically explore everything that Zoho has to offer.
Zoho.com, Zoho.com. And we've been chatting with LSP from Zoho. Thanks so much for carving out some time to chat with us. I appreciate it. Good to talk to you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much, Mark.
We talk Earth Day tech when we return on Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
As we celebrate Earth Day this year, coming up on Saturday, April the 22nd, now more than ever, we must find ways to be more sustainable. Meteorologist and environmental lifestyle expert Cheryl Nelson is here with us today to share how a few tech companies are making changes to benefit the planet. Hi, Cheryl. Good to chat with you.
Hey, Mark. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so passionate about our planet, and I've partnered with a few companies to show what they're doing to help lead the way to a greener future.
Yeah, awesome. A lot of our listeners may think that tech companies and sustainability are mutually exclusive, but that's not the case, as you'll no doubt demonstrate. So why don't we start off with some companies, some organizations that have changed how they make their products?
Yes, so sustainability continues to be a key focus for many brands, and Anker is committed to helping the planet by using 40% bio-based materials like corn and sugarcane to coat the exterior of their Anker bio-based charging cables without sacrificing durability. The compact 30-watt Anker Nano 3 USB-C charger packs more charging capacity while also reducing the amount of plastic needed during the manufacturing. It's small, but boy, is it mighty. And even the product packaging uses 90% less plastic, so kudos to them.
I'm a fan of Anker. I use their power banks all the time when I'm traveling and I need a top up on my smartphone. I always carry one of those little devices with me in my backpack to juice up my iPhone or my tablet and so on. So great stuff from Anker.
Yes.
How about eco-friendly products that can store or transport our data?
Good question. Flash drives. I love them. They always come in handy. And my favorite is the SanDisk Ultra Eco USB 3.2 flash drive because it not only safely stores my data, but it's also made with over 70% recycled plastic, including plastic from disposable water bottles. Now, this process saves energy and water and reduces carbon emissions by over 50%. The Ultra Eco is available in capacities up to 512 gigabyte drives with transfer speeds up to 100 megabytes per second. So you can store what matters most. And I know you like that.
For sure. And look, I trust the cloud. I upload files online to store off-site, but there's nothing like having local offline storage that's super fast and you don't have to pay a monthly subscription fee for. So,
good point. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
SanDisk is one of my favorite companies. They're owned by Western Digital. So this is great that they've also gone eco-friendly with their flash drives or thumb drives. Awesome stuff. And what do you recommend for eco-friendly laptops? Again, I think a lot of my listeners would be surprised to know that there are some that are better on the environment than others.
Yeah, wait till you hear this. I've got 3 to talk about. And Microsoft and its partners offer devices with sustainable features that also run on Windows 11 to give you the performance and functionality that you need from your laptop. So I'm going to start with the Acer Aspire Vero. The Vero uses 30% recycled plastic in its frame and 50% on the keyboard caps, which saves roughly 21% in the carbon emissions during the manufacturing process. And bonus, it has a bright 14-inch HD display with up to 1 terabyte of storage. So there's plenty of space. Next up is the HP Dragonfly G4. Love the name. It's the first business notebook to support simultaneous use of 2 cameras and is perfect for any work environment. Plus, it's created with recycled materials, including ocean-bound plastic and magnesium, and the packaging that is 100% sustainably sourced. Finally, Mark, a powerhouse PC, the ASUS ExpertBook B9, which is the world's first carbon-neutral business laptop. From manufacturing and shipping to use and end-of-life management, ASUS has ensured that 90% of the materials and components used are easy to recycle and reuse. How about that for a win-win?
We are chatting with meteorologist and environmental lifestyle expert Cheryl Nelson, sharing with us what some tech companies are doing to be more eco-conscious around Earth Day, which is fantastic and all year round. We've chatted about Anker, SanDisk, and a few Microsoft partners, ASUS, my favorite, Acer, and HP as well. Where can we go for more info, Cheryl, including seeing these products in action?
Yes, definitely got to see these. Go to inthenews.tv for more.
All right, inthenews.tv to see Cheryl walk through these products over video so you can see what they look like as well. And all the websites and all that are there too. Hey, Cheryl, thanks so much for being on the show this spring. All the best.
Thanks, Mark. Take care.
Hey, thank you for tuning into Tech It Out this hour. Hope you enjoyed the variety hour with PLAYSTUDIOS and Tetris, Ally, the digital bank, and their work in Fortnite, Zoho, productivity apps, and then Earth Day suggestions and tied to some tech companies. Speaking of tech companies, this show is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops like its ZenBooks and VivoBooks, ExpertBooks, and StudioBooks. Head over to asus.com/US/radio for more. That's asus.com/US/radio. Don't forget to properly back up your computer files on a regular basis. I always trust SanDisk, SSDs, and thumb drives, and SD cards, as well as Western Digital external drives. They're always on sale. You can head over to westerndigital.com for more. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, a healthy and safe week ahead, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out. Be well, everyone. Ciao for now.